Hello and welcome to the second devlog for To Build a Home. It's been a long time, mostly because I find it hard to create videos. I start explaining the technicalities in detail and the video ends up being too long, so I am going to focus on showing the new stuff and skim over the background details. There are many new little things and a couple big ones. But before that, I wanted to thank everyone for their response to the first devlog, here on YouTube, on Reddit and on the new Discord server. So much positivity and encouragement. Many good questions and ideas. I have also been posting frequent development updates around there, so feel free to join if you wish. As you can see in the background videos, there are lots of new items and new apartments. Whenever I get stuck with coding, I make something new. The funny part is that every time I make something new, I uncover some new bug or a feature that it's missing. And sometimes the simple act of adding, say, a bathtub turns into a week of work. Or maybe I add a new apartment I have been to, or one from a TV series, and find unique features that I cannot represent in the game yet. But it's all good. The more things like this I find, the more complete the game becomes. You can also see how much the UI has improved. I planned on forgetting about it completely and focusing on gameplay, but making everything look nice keeps me motivated to work on the game. Sometimes even gives me good ideas about how the game should work. So now there is a sidebar with character information, with customizable tabs. There is an object menu that shows object details plus the actions that you can take with it, and the cursor changes shape telling you what you can interact with. The shop menu is a bit nicer now, and I have a prototype showing how the travel menu and the overworld could look like. I have also been focusing on completing a small game loop, so I can, hopefully soon, organize a playtest. Join the Discord server if you want to be notified about that. That's why I have worked a bit on the duties section, and now the game can detect if you have gone to work and if you have paid rent in time. With the small changes out of the way, let's showcase the two big changes: personality and mood. Characters are starting to come alive now, because they have individual personalities. I wanted to have a personality system that is at least grounded in reality, so that players can empathize with the characters even if they are only 20 pixels tall. I have decided to use the Big 5 model of personality, which ranks human personality in 5 traits. Let's see if I can pronounce them properly: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Each of them is subdivided into 6 sub-traits. The model has its criticisms. Maybe some people would suggest using other option, but I think it is very good, and also there are lots of literature and resources about it, making it easy to research. As an example, here is a character representing myself. I have passed a personality test at big5test.com and copied the results directly into the game. At some point I will include a similar test inside the game, so you can choose to pass it as yourself or to roleplay as your character. But you can also input the values manually. Everything's in text files anyway, you can change what you want. The game takes those sub-trait values that are high or low and generates a written description based on those. Here you can see mine. He is open-minded to new and unusual ideas and likes to debate intellectual issues. Yeah, that's totally me. He is tender-hearted and compassionate. Oh, you're too kind, thanks. He uses fantasy as a way of creating a more interesting world. Yeah, no shit, brother. The values aren't there just to present you with a description of the characters, but to rule how the character reacts to their world. Every time there is a decision to make or an event happens, the effect will be calculated by taking specific personality values into account. For some examples, let's talk about the new mood system. Characters have a mood value now that changes whenever things happen around them. This is affected by their personality in mainly 2 ways. First, their neuroticism value determines a mood set point, the value the mood tends to return to. Bad events lower our mood, but we slowly get out of the hole, maybe with a little help, and return to stability. And the effect of good events also fades with time and we return to our baseline, an effect called the hedonic treadmill. I think this mood system can represent that really well. Characters high in neuroticism will have a mood set point a little under 0.5 and vice versa. So some characters will need an extra to feel alright, and others will be able to stand some minor inconvenience without having their day ruined. Second, personality affects how much events affect their mood. For these events, I turned into the theories of Carl Jung, in particular into the concept of the collective unconscious, a set of mental concepts that every human being understands by default. Here is how my collective unconscious looks like at the moment. A list of stressors that we all react differently to. Perhaps I should refer to them as potential stressors, because some characters may not react at all to some of these. When an stressor is encountered, a reaction is triggered in the character, calculated with a formula that takes into account the specific personality traits. For example, a character high in adventurousness would find a change of residence exciting, or wouldn't be as affected after losing their job as someone who preferred stability. Let's make a small detour to talk about fun. While working on the mood system, I realized that I didn't like how I was simulating fun as any other need. Sometimes during the development of this game I have coded something as it was in The Sims, by pure inertia, only to realize later that it may not be the best solution. In the case of fun, I initially did exactly that, and then I thought, wait, is it? Is fun a bar that one needs to fill up? Do I do fun things because I have a low concentration of fun in my blood? I don't think so. I can go for a long time without doing fun activities if other things keep me happy and entertained. Sometimes I do fun things because I am trying to hide some anxious thought, and I don't even have fun while doing them, something that is hard to simulate with a simple bar. And a character with a full fun bar and all its needs covered could in theory do nothing for a long time and be fine, when in reality we prefer to be literally electroshocked rather than staying alone with our thoughts for a while. That's how I realized that I instead should simulate fun as an increase on mood. A character whose mood is a little low may choose to raise it for some time by doing something fun. Maybe they are the active type and they get a mood malus because they haven't done their favorite thing for too long. A bit of fun will remove that. A character with high mood may choose to raise it even more because the higher the better, or do some chores instead. A character with anxious thoughts may try to hide it behind some high intensity activity, but their problem will be waiting for them when they stop. Let's show off all these new features with some gameplay. Here is me as a character, you have already met, and here's his brother Luigi. He's basically the same but in green, but is a bit more neurotic and not adventurous at all. Right from the start, Luigi is in a worse mood because his baseline value is lower, but just by a small amount. They both move into new flats and get their residence change stressor. For Mario, this is an exciting experience full of possibilities, so he gets a mood boost for some time. Luigi, on the other hand, only sees possible dangers and his mood is lowered. Not a great day for him. Different maps will have different events. On these city flats, for example, your upstairs neighbors may start playing marbles in the middle of the night. Luigi's day is even more ruined, as uncontrolled noises getting his nerves. Mario, however, doesn't even notice. I'm still not sure how to model this. I have found out that Schopenhauer correlated intelligence with annoyance from noise, while I would argue that it's got to do with being in peace with things out of your control. When they get hungry, both their moods get lowered. Some people get really angry when they are hungry, but I don't know how that correlates to Big 5 SERP traits. Mario has some mood surplus, so he's still stable and can calmly go to get something to eat. Luigi is close to snapping. If you now order Mario to perform some duty, like going to work, he will gladly go. Luigi, however, will resist to do anything that doesn't help his situation. This is all that I have implemented for now. There are many more ideas to apply, stressors to add, personality traits to use. So thank you all for your time and see you around.